Hi everyone! Sa lahat ng nanonood, just stay on this webinar. So, we'll start in a few. So, hinihintay lang nating mag-exactong oras, syempre, no? Para sa exact na oras tayo mag-start. So, if you're watching this live session, please share this live, no? If may kakilala ka na gusto mong matuto sa when it comes to virtual assistants, so feel free to share this live. This is for free. So you can share it to anyone kahit hindi nakapag-register, but we encourage them to register so they will be aware next time tungkol sa mga live session na ginagawa natin. So if you're with me, ayan, send mo naman ako ng heart reaction. Hello po, Teacher AJ Manubi po. Thanks for this kind of option po. Hi, Arl Joy. Hello. You are very much welcome. Share natin yung live. Hello everyone! So ayan, andyan si Jennifer, andyan si Shin. Wala ba akong audio? Feeling ko naman meron. Hindi lang ako nagsasalita kanina. So welcome everyone! Welcome to this Facebook Live. So just so you know, this live is happening every month wherein we invite a valuable speaker or valuable guest that can share something good to all of us. So if you are not aware about that one, what you can do is you can share this live or so you can register, no? So, wait lang natin mga maybe 5 minutes so other people could join. Hello, Sunny. So 2 minutes and we will start. So please share this Facebook Live. So para mas maraming makanood sa atin, no? At mas marami tayong matulungan. And this is happening every month for free. So next month we will have another speaker, but now we have a special guest where we will talk about how you can transition from your corporate job into a freelancer. So I know it is very paulit-ulit niyo 'tong tinatanong sa mga Facebook Live 'no, paano nga ba ako magta-transition if galing akong corporate world to freelancer, puwede ba 'yon? And the answer is yes. And mamaya pag-uusapan natin how you can offer your services kahit galing kang, corporate 'no. How you can offer scalable services to clients kahit wala kang background when it comes to, type of business sa US. Or let's just say virtual assistants kasi ngayon ang nagiging notion is kapag ikaw ay mag apply bilang VA, kailangan meron kang experience, which is not true because others would still accept you kahit wala kang experience. You just have to make sure that you position yourself during your application na you are an expert. So, let's start. So, if you're ready to start, comment number 1. Ayan, wala akong nakikitang nagko-comment ng number 1. And um, if you can see this live, please make sure to share. Share this one para mas marami tayong reach out na tao na pwede nating matulungan. So, this is a very interesting topic because not all freelancers are just fresh grads. Some of them came from corporate world, right? And this is a good topic where we can talk about it, right? Ano yung mga tips and tricks na pwede nilang gamitin the moment na they decided to jump in sa corporate world. So before we start, I just want to give a brief background sa ating speaker. So let me just also go live in TikTok so they will be aware that we're doing this type of thing. So, by the way, ako muna magpapakilala. My name is AJ, my real estate virtual assistant for almost, 5 years. So I'm also an agency owner. I am part of Next Level Assist. So this is a brand new VA agency that just launched, just few months ago. And we're helping, virtual assistant on their first journey, no, on their journey on how to become a VA. So we give opportunities at the same time. On the other hand, I am a community builder. I help aspiring real estate virtual assistant or regardless kung anong niche ang gusto mo to land on their first client. So I also offer free webinars, right? And free services just like this. You don't have to pay for anything just to attend on this type of call. You just have to, register and join my community. So if you want to join my community, I'll give the instructions later after our conversation. And what I really like is on this live is later, if you're gonna stay with us, you have the opportunity to get, a free online course that I sell or I offer. Not free, it's my exclusive paid online course, and it is the Reva Blueprint. So the original price of that paid online course is 599, but if you're going to attend this call, Young will select at least three winners on this paid online course. For free ha, wala kang babayaran. So, si Yong yung mamimili. And i-discuss natin yun mamaya how Yong will qualify, right? Yung mga mananalo. So, if you're ready na, let me just fix my camera in here. Okay, there you go. So, now let's start. So, this speaker, so I just saw him on TikTok. So, we are like having some short interaction on TikTok when he's going live. And he is also passionate in helping, aspiring virtual assistant or freelancers. So, he's also conducting webinar on his own, on his community. So, I really saw the partnership and potential that we may be, maybe we can partner on this type of event so he can share his experience kasi we invite people or individuals here in our webinar na may experience and who has the power or the capabilities to share their tips and tricks and their best practices so they guys can help you, because I believe those best practices, those are the things that we cannot search on Google, 'di ba? May mga bagay pa din na hindi kayang ibigay ang internet na kayang ibigay ng tao. So that's why I invited Yong. Yong is also an artist, so I am pretty sure he's also he's singing. And at the same time, his current specialty right now is he does marketing, and he's also in the field of, he's also a creative director. Mamaya mas malalaman natin kung ano yung ginagawa niya. So I want to welcome Yong. Welcome Yong to this live. So can you just say hi to our guests because you are live now on our webinar.
Hi everyone. Audible lang naman ako,
Ayan.
di ba?
Yes, we can hear you. So, how are you doing today before we start? How are you? How's your Saturday? Ako medyo bugto pa yung mata ko, nakikita niyo, pero laban lang tayo.
Oo nga eh. Kanina I just had actually like a coffee kasi nga parang it's been a while na nag-webinar ulit ako and
Mm-mm.
doing like sharing stories na pwedeng matutunan ng mga aspiring na mga VA or kahit yung mga may experience na din. So, yun, nag-coffee ako just to make sure that, refresh ako ngayon sa
Oo.
mangyayari
Kailangan
ngayong gabi.
natin ng caffeine booster, no? Kapag
Kaya nga,
medyo napatagal tayo ng pahinga. Well, anyway, it was thank you, Yong. First of all, I want to thank you for accepting my invite on this one. So it's a privilege to have you in this call. So very ano lang naman, just have to join me on this discussion, and I'm gonna throw you questions, and I'm pretty sure you're aware of that. And then yeah, let's start. If you're ready to start, type number 5 on the group chat. I'm not group chat tuloy. On the comment section, ayan, number 5. Parang wala namang ayaw nyo naman mag-start. Nakakainis naman kayo. Nag-effort kami dito. Number 5, we have 15,000 viewers as of this moment. So sa mga nasa TikTok, you can join me on Facebook. So ayan, share nyo pa yung live para mas lalong dumami yung ating mga viewers. Hi Ken David, how are you? Angeli, kamusta? Ayan, marami nang nag-send ng 5. So ayan. So let's start. So let's have an overview on our discussion. And first and foremost, if you came from BPO tuloy, from a corporate world, you don't need to start from scratch, right? Ibig sabihin, hindi porket galing kang BPO ay feeling mo from zero ka na agad magsisimula. Tanggalin mo yung ganong mindset kasi we have to remember we have this concept or we have this thing na transferable skills. Meaning, yung mga skills na ginamit mo sa corporate world, pwede mo pa rin siyang gamitin dito sa freelancing. And that's something that you need to be grateful, no? Kasi kailangan aware ka na pwede pala yon. Yung mga skills mo galing sa corporate world, pwede mo pala siyang i-transfer from dito sa freelancing industry. So, dito sa discussion natin, you will learn how to package your existing skills. When you say package is how you can offer your services as a freelancer, as a remote worker, no? Na paano mo i-offer yung services mo na mas maganda sa client. Next is create offers that convert. So also we will reveal to you ano yung mga offer or paano gumawa ng offer sa mga client na alam mong it will give them conversion, no? That you are confident that to help them to bring the business to the next level. Next one, explain your services clearly and confidently. Ito kasi yung mahirap sa lahat, no? Minsan kahit tayo mismo nag-offer ng service, hindi natin alam if ano ba talaga yung ipo-provide natin. And that's something that is really should not be happening, no? Kailangan sa atin pa lang clear kung ano yung services na i-offer natin and clear ano yung confident tayo sa gagawin natin. Kasi kung hindi tayo confident sa bagay na ginagawa natin, how paano natin ma-sure sa client na kaya natin mag-deliver? So, next is from corporate to VA. So, kung galing kang corporate world, for example, regardless of your role in the corporate world, and then lilipat ka ng virtual assistants, you already have the skills. Again, I want to repeat that you already have the skills. The only missing thing is your service offer. How are you going to offer your services? What words are you going to use if you're going to create your resume or your cover letter so you can make sure and you need to sound that you have an experience, no? Kailangan kasi when you write a resume, kailangan dalin mo yung mga experience mo from corporate to freelancing para magkaroon ng bigat yung resume mo at saka yung work experience mo. And of course, pinakamahalaga sa lahat ay hindi naman mahalaga yung lahat ng sasabihin namin ngayon if hindi ito ang unang gagawin mo. Okay? You have to shift your mindset, no? Hindi po pwedeng dadalin mo pa rin yung corporate yung corporate practices mo kapag nandito ka na sa freelancing industry. Because masyadong magkaiba siya. Okay? Again, if you are here in the freelancing industry, you are now a service provider. Meaning to say, you're selling your services to clients, right? You're selling your expertise to clients and you bring result, right? Therefore, you are considered as a business owner. You are not just an employee. You're not a yes man to that particular person. You are now a business partner of that business owner. Ganon yung nangyayari. So, ibig sabihin, pag sinabi ko you're not just a yes man, I'm not saying to contradict or to be combative to your client every time that you have a conversation or every time na may decision kayong gagawin. What I'm trying to say is you contribute, you bring your input, no? Pinakikinggan ka nila. Hindi unlike sa corporate na ang gagawin mo lang is gawin mo yung trabaho mo, you're good, no? Dito hindi. You are an integral part of their business, meaning the growth is also will rely on you, no? On how you perform, on how you strategize, something like that. So yung tanong ko sa'yo is when you transition into freelancing or virtual assistant work, what is the biggest mindset shift na ginawa mo?
Oh, that's actually like an interesting question, no? Ako kasi when I transitioned into freelancing and VA world, the biggest mindset shift na I had to make was realizing that I am not actually just doing the task, but I'm running a business. Yun talaga yung mindset shift na naiisip ko. At first, I thought freelancing was just about doing a few tasks, earning a little extra, and keeping happy clients. Pero yung plot twist doon is hindi ka lang VA eh. Ikaw yung strategist, ikaw yung planner, ikaw yung problem solver, And occasionally, ikaw nga yung therapy sa sarili mo eh. Like, if you know, tayong mga VA.
Ah, ah, ah.
And yes, like, tayo din yung magiging HR department kung nagiging burnout na talaga tayo. So, and also, what I realized along the way is that freelancing and VA work can feel like two different worlds. Ganun talaga siya. When you say like freelancing, minsan you often take the lead, you create the offer, you set the terms, and clients come to you for expertise. However, kung dito ka naman sa VA work, especially in some setups, it feels like you're working under a boss din. So you get assigned tasks, you need to follow instructions, you have to navigate multiple personalities, mga ganon. And sometimes nafo-forgot mo yung sarili mong business. So that's something like two different worlds. Yun yung shift na na-experience ko. And what I did is I really had to stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like a business owner again. So one who manages the time, one who set the boundaries, one who decides what aligns, and sometimes tells himself na, "Uy, maglalag off ka na, hindi ka robot." Kasi,
Mm.
you know, pwede ka ng, ano tawag nito? Baka maano ka na sa pader ba? Tawag nito, anong tawag nila dyan? Di ba yung parang
Tumagos ka
sa
na sa pader.
tumagos ka na sa pader. So, once yung mindset na yun, nag-click na talaga siya, everything actually changed. So, I started attracting better clients, building systems, and most importantly, na-reclaim ko yung time and confidence. Now, what happened is I don't just do the work. So, right now, I run the show. Di ba? Maganda
Yeah, yeah. And I
So,
like how you highlight the word you run a business. So, yun yung greatest mindset shift niya no? Na hindi na ako employee, I am running a business now. So, yun yung mindset shift niya. That's why my challenge to you guys or for those who's watching is ano yung magiging mindset shift na gagawin ninyo in order for you to start. Kasi naniniwala ako lahat nag-start sa utak and then everything will follow. If yung utak mo ay hindi maayos, hindi rin magiging maayos yung response o magiging gagawin ng katawan mo, magmamanifest sa mga bagay na ginagawa mo. Your mindset is also your bread and butter, okay? I'm telling you that. So, kapag sira ang mental health mo, tapos nagtatrabaho ka, yes, you can deliver, pero deep down, you are being consumed. So, that's why every time na may opportunity kayo, ayusin yung mindset ninyo and, and feeling nyo kailangan na talagang ayusin, you have to do that. And most especially kung nag-start kayo, kailangan ninyo yung ayusin yung mindset ninyo na you are a service provider, you are not an employee anymore. You will run a business here. It's critical. If you think na madali lang siya, hindi. Okay? Mahirap po siya. But at the same time, yung hirap na yun ay may kaakibat na maayos na payment, 'di ba? Yun naman kasi yung hinahanap natin. And at the same time, hindi na natin kailangan mag-commute. So marami din, may pros and cons, kailangan yung alamin. You have to write down the pros and cons. And if you think na mas marami yung pros sa'yo, edi you can start here, right? Pero pag sa tingin mo maraming consequences for you, and then maybe this is not for you. Okay? And at the same time, I wanna I will ask you a different question later, but let's discuss the skills audit. When you say skills audit, um, we have to identify ano na ba yung mga skills na meron tayo from corporate world na pwede natin dalhin dito sa VA world or sa freelancing world, no? So number one, you can list down your past roles and daily tasks. So for example, if you do like sort of communication by email, you write communication. If you do project management, you do project management, no? And if you use social media, you write down social media. And if you write down content creation, and admin support. So, possibly, for example, nag-run ka ng, let's just say, you run a specific project or campaign, no? So, maybe na iba yung term doon sa loob, yung jargon na ginagamit ninyo sa loob ng company. Pero ang tawag pala doon ay project management. You can bring that one or you can bring that particular skill or experience dito sa VA world or sa freelancing industry. Because project management is also a services that you can offer to clients, right? And that's something that, bring leverage on you, right? So if you are from corporate world, what I want you to do is to list down all the skills that you think you're doing on your past role, and tingnan mo kung alin doon yung pwede mong ilagay sa resume mo, alin doon yung pwede mong i-highlight every time na may interview ka. So, may example dito, sabi dito, I used to write internal newsletters. So, if you're writing like newsletters on your previous company, you can categorize yourself, or you can put this particular skills as email marketing support, no? So ibig sabihin, yung ginagawa mo doon sa loob ng corporate world, iba lang yung tawag, pero kapag nandito ka na sa freelancing industry, may iba rin siyang tawag. Ibig sabihin, when you use your words or when you're going to describe your role, make sure na it is somehow aligned and relatable when it into, to the business owners, to the clients that you're trying to target. Because if you're going just to tell them na, yeah, I write newsletters, 'di ba parang ang plain and simple, hindi siya nagkakaroon ng bigat or hindi siya nagkakaroon ng impact, and you don't sound like you are an expert. But if you're going to think critically, instead of saying you're just writing a newsletter, you could have say, yeah, I'm an email marketing support. So it brings something on the audience, or it brings something to the client. Okay, he's expert when it comes to marketing support because he does email marketing. And I'm pretty sure when you said those words that you are email marketing support, it will give them an idea that you know how to write a newsletter, 'di ba? It's just like a matter of use of word and how you're going to paraphrase yung ginagawa mo from your old job to your current role na gusto mong pasukan. Next, match. So, kung after mong ma-audit yung skills mo, next is you have to match your skills to your service. So, hindi naman to... So, Yong, bago tayo magpunta sa match skills to service, I have a question. So, what was one corporate task that you used to do that turned out to be a highly profitable service in your business right now? So, di ba pinag-usapan natin yung skills ngayon? So, sa tingin mo, ano yung skills mo dati sa corporate world, or ano yung mga task mo sa corporate world dati na nadala mo ngayon sa freelancing industry na sa tingin mo ngayon ay profitable o
Ah,
malaki yung impact niya?
actually, no, just to give lang a quick background. When
Mm.
before I started becoming like a virtual assistant or freelancer, I'm actually like a restaurant manager. So
Oh.
yeah, so the idea there is, yung work ko ngayon is more on creative side. So back then, I really don't have any experience of VA, though my corporate job is in restaurant manager. So however, alam ko yung strength ko, meron akong strength na people would totally pay me for. And I've always been naturally creative. So doon ako nag-lean. So alam kong may experience ako sa mga ganito, mga ganyan, sa managerial na role. However, since I am totally creative sa end ko, yun yung nilind ko. And I started offering services like yung mga video editing, mga content creation, not because like I had a formal title for it, but because I know that I am good at it. So, and honestly, dun pa lang, that's totally like good enough to start. And also, going back sa pagiging naturally, since creative tayo, all the time also on my end, one of the corporate tasks, or probably one of the corporate tasks that I do or I did but didn't realize could become a highly profitable service was actually communicating clearly and handling people professionally, which is also part dito sa na pwede mong mabigay na service sa pagiging
Mm.
dito sa freelance or in the VA world. So back in my restaurant manager days, I was actually like constantly putting out fires. So sometimes literally na since
Ah,
nasa
ah, ah.
restaurant ka. So, not just that one, dealing with customer concerns, mga kailangan mong i-calm down yung mga stress mo sa mga staff mo, and then making sure na everything runs smoothly, especially sa operations
The
ng business.
operations.
Yeah.
Correct.
But I don't think much of it. I just thought na, well, this is work. Trabaho to eh. So I need to do this one. And fast forward sa freelancing na or in my VA world, na-realize ko na some of these skills that I have right now, gold siya. Isa siyang ano, tawag nito, ano, tawag nito, hirap talaga magtagalog. Basta, isa siyang gold, ganon. No, I actually like get paid sa pakikipag-usap ngayon sa client. Because that is actually like pag nag-uusap ka sa client, you need to make sure na clear yung pakikipag-usap mo sa kanya. Even though that you have all the ideas, but if hindi maganda yung pakikipag-usap mo sa client, that's a big no-no pa rin. Now I manage their content calendars. I coordinate with team workflows. Usually I handle the online engagement. Basically, it's actually like the same stuff. But this time, I'm doing it in my own terms. So, meron akong creative. And now, charge ko na siya kung ano yung skills na meron ako. So, if I will be given like a moral of the story sa mga ganitong mga bagay, yung
Mhm.
soft skills mo ngayon na sinasharpen mo ngayon sa corporate job mo, like mga communication, mga time management, mga problem solving, can turn into your most profitable offers sa mga businesses, especially, if you want to start as freelancer or if you want to start as VA. So, ang gagawin mo lang is you just have to see them through a different lens. Yun yung pwede kong ibigay na moral story.
Okay. Thank you so much for that, valuable experiences na shinare mo sa amin. At the same time, yon. So, sometimes, yung previous experience natin or yung task na ginagawa natin, sometimes, pakiramdam natin, it might be simple, no? Or it might be like, parang wala lang. Pero little did we know that if we're going to convert it, if we're going to use it properly, or practice it when we transition into a freelancing industry, it could have like make our lives really easy, right? Because if yung number one na sinabi niya kanina is yung clear communication. Anybody could talk, right? Anybody can converse to anyone, but I think making sure that you are communicating effectively and clearly, that's the that's the I think the breaking point. That's the point na kailangan nating ma-reach, no? Lahat tayo kailangan, we need to communicate effectively and clearly para mas madali nating masabi yung mga bagay na gusto natin, right? And considering that English is not our first language, it will be a bottleneck for all of us to converse, 'di ba, in English. Like, even, other people na nasa matagal na nagsasalita ng English, right? I'm pretty sure that they're still having some, a hard time, or, you know, um, some sort of struggle when they're trying to talk with their clients, right? Because there are cultures that, they have idiomatic expression. There are some idioms na sometimes di natin alam, tapos ganito pala yung ibig sabihin. Palagi nating may encounter yan. But if we effectively communicate, and lahat naman tayo ay dadaan sa ganung proseso, I think it will bring something on us, and most especially to our business. Thank you so much, Yong, for sharing those things. And next is, di ba tapos na tayo sa skills audit? Ngayon, ano naman gagawin mo after mong ma-audit yung skills mo? Di ba? So, nasulat mo na yung skills mo sa papel. Ano naman gagawin mo? So, kailangan ilista mo na kung ano yung services na pwede mong i-offer, considering na alam mo na yung skills na yung particular skills na yan ay ginagawa mo na before. Paano i-level mo na siya sa services na pwede mong i-offer. Example, gumagamit ka ng Canva design, or let's just say gumagamit ka ng Adobe sa iyong corporate world or corporate job. You can offer social media content creation, right? If you're using Adobe, ako humahanga ako sa mga taong gumagamit ng Adobe. Sa Canva nga, medyo hirap pa ako paminsan. Paano pa kaya yung Adobe, di ba? Next naman is yung Google Sheets, right? Google Sheets counterpart niyan ay si Microsoft Excel. If you know how to use Excel, you can offer data entry or reporting, right? So, do not complicate yourself na parang galing akong corporate world, wala akong alam gawin, wala akong pwedeng i-offer na service. Hindi po ganun yun. If you're from corporate world, I'm pretty sure kahit papaano gumagamit kayo ng Canva, ng Microsoft Excel, and those skills na na-acquire ninyo sa corporate world, pwede nyo pa siyang gawin into a services na pwede mong ibenta dito sa freelancing industry. And yung if you wanna add something, you can butt in ha. And then
Yes.
next is writing reports. So if you're writing reports for your boss before, you can opt in when it comes to blog writing or copywriting. So of course, when you're writing reports, you need to make sure that your data should be understood by your boss. And it really takes time for you to do that, right? Because you analyze the content or the data before you can translate it into words, right? It's really hard to put it into words. That's why it's really it's also a scalable service if you're going to offer blog writing or copywriting. So, if you're writing report, you can reward it into blog writing or copywriting. Next is customer emails. So if you're from customer service or customer support, 'di ba? You're responding to different queues, right? Or different, outlets. Like if you are a call center agent, sometimes you have to calls, you have to, respond through email. So ibig sabihin, yung customer emails na sinasagot mo dati, pwede mo siyang i-offer na service sa freelancing industry as inbox and client support. So there's no reason, and ito ay iilan pa lamang po sa mga skills na na-acquire mo primarily na pwede mo siyang ibenta dito sa freelancing industry. Again, dito kasi hindi ka employee ha when you're doing freelancing. You're selling your services. You're selling your expertise. Kailangan malinaw sa inyo yon.
True.
So, before we transition, is I wanna ask you is yung, how did you figure out which services to offer first? And was it a trial error or yung strategic ka na agad?
Interesting siya na question. I love it. Wait. So, I actually like answered na based sa mga answer ko earlier, it wasn't like super strategic or like, some detailed business plan. Hindi siya ganun. It was honestly a mix of trial and error and gut instinct. Diyan talaga siya diyan lang talaga siya umiikot. Like, hindi ako na umupo dito and then I just map out everything na magbibigay ng isang menu. But yung tinanong ko sa sarili ko is, ano ba talaga yung marunong talaga ako? Or what am I really good at? I'm not looking at what is trending, hindi yung ganon. Like example, kasi usually sa mga tao ngayon, kung ano yung trend, malaki yung kita, doon sila pumapasok. When in fact, that is not something that they totally love. So,
Yes.
alam mo na, parang pag-ibig lang din yan, di ba?
Ay, bakit
Parang papunta
ganon?
tayo doon.
Charot.
Oo, di ba? Like, it's always like that one. Like, may mga tao na they are going into something na, for example, what they have is actually like, yung experience nila is already in the nasa CSR na sila. And then, they know that being a social media manager is something na malaki yung kita. Let's just take it for example. And then, of course, it will totally take time for them to know the full scope of this idea. Kaya yung mas better talaga na papasok ka sa something that you really love or something na passion mo. Kasi mahirap na napapasok ka sa isang bagay na alam mo naman, in the end, magfe-fail ka lang. So it would be better na doon ka sa something na meron ka na, may skills ka na. So don't look at what is trending, especially like maraming mga course ngayon na tos ang ending pala hindi para sa iyo. You are trying to pay for something and then it is really not for you. You can actually
Correct.
like go on a course and make sure that the thing na pinasukan mo na course is something that aligned with the skills that you have. Para at least, konti na
Mm.
lang yung pag-transition mo. So, don't
Exactly.
look at what is trending. Um, I I also didn't look at what everyone else was offering. Just what I could, you know, what I knew I could confidently do and deliver. Yun yung inaano ko talaga sa isip ko. Since yung nangyari is, I've always leaned toward, ganun nga, sa creative side. So, doon ako sa designs, doon ako sa visuals, doon ako sa storytelling because that is something that I really love. And when you love something, that means, of course, the client will also love the work that you do. So, doon pa lang I started offering yung mga services na based doon sa mga creative side ko, like mga content creation or repurposing or social media support. That is where I focus at. So, hindi ako nag-overthink. Finocus ko lang kung ano yung skills ko na meron ako and I always enjoyed. And of course, when you have this, pag meron ka ng ganito, of course, you have to refine it. And in time din na makukuha mo yan, you will refine it along the way. So, sinabi ko nga kanina na it is actually like a mix of trial and error and gut instincts. But, once you do that one, some things will work. Some things didn't. So, merong mag-work, merong iba. But you always need to believe na clarity comes from action. Yun talaga yung isipin mo. Yung clarity talaga comes from action. So, you have to keep showing up. You have to test all the offers na meron ka. And most importantly, you have to listen to what clients will ask you for, or I always listen to ano yung mga clients na yung binibigay nila sa akin or sinasabi sa akin. And that's how I slowly shape my services to what they are today. So yun.
Okay. Thank you for that, Yong. And I really love how you highlight yung message yung message na you do the things that you love. And just so you know, if I could go back to the time that I am starting, I should have read more about freelancing industry before because I'm not aware that I'm doing freelancing type of thing. I just know that I'll apply to this agency, I'm gonna do this job, and I'm gonna get paid. And wala pa kasi akong alam nun and bata pa ako nun. And if babalikan ko yung panahong yon, 'di ba? I'd rather, have a good research about what I am doing so I am aware, to do the things that I will do. But yun nga, hindi ako nagsimula dun sa bagay na ginagawa ko yung gusto kong gawin kasi parang late ko na lang siya nagawa. Kasi
It's totally okay.
I mean, the things that I wanna do is, I just wanna teach other people. Gusto ko lang magturo. Kasi that's my passion ever since. Parang, that's my confirmation na I was born to teach. Na if I have the opportunity to teach other individuals, regardless of what topic it is, regardless of the, subject, di ba, parang, I'll do that, right? I love educating other people.
Yeah, same,
And
same.
then, bigla akong napunta sa real estate, 'di ba? Parang ano 'to, ba't real estate, 'di ba? Anong alam ko sa real estate, ganyan. So,
It takes
good
time.
thing is ano?
It totally takes time for you to talaga. Yung parang makuha
Yes, oo.
idea. So
Correct,
that's
correct. Pero, ang maganda naman doon is when after I venture in real estate, I'm handling agents, right? And these agents are pretty new on the real estate industry. And ako naman, medyo marami na akong experience. So, I still educate them. Meaning to say, hindi man siya yung mismong eksaktong gawin ko like a classroom setup type of thing. I still have the opportunity to teach them, hey, here's the thing that you're going to do. Or let's set up a one-on-one call. Ganyan. And then after a couple of years, I was able to do this thing, like the community building, sharing, free webinars, sharing free online course to other people. And right now I'm doing internship. So it's more of looking on the other lens, sabi mo nga. Ako, nakita ko yung lens ng real estate na pwede ko pala siyang ituro. Okay? This is something pala that I can teach to other people. Because number one, I see the value. 'Di ba? Sabi
yeah.
mo nga, I see the value na walang masyadong gumagawa ng real estate na content and walang gumagawa ng course when it comes to real estate. Specifically when it comes to residential real estate, administrative tasks when it comes to real estate, and transaction coordination when it comes to real estate. So that's what I bring in the community, right? But yun nga, but the bottom line is, if you want to offer services, make sure it is something that you really love to avoid burnout, right? Because if you get burnout, I think that's the dilemma yun na yung dilemma mo as a freelancer. Paano ka na ulit babalik? Well, ngayon, let's talk about crafting your offer. So we talk about match your skills to your services. So ano yung mga skills mo before sa iyong freelance, sa iyong corporate world, and then ipapattern mo na siya into a services na pwede mo i-offer sa freelancing industry. Ngayon, paano mo naman siya i-offer? So number one, kailangan clear and specific siya para maging sellable siya. Ibig sabihin, maliwanag na ikaw mismo na iintindihan mo ano yung ino-offer mo, ano yung skills na may offer mo sa kanila. And number two, specific. Kailangan mo pagsabayin yon o pagsamahin, clear and specific, para maging sellable siya. Number two, yung formula is service. Ano yung service na i-offer mo? Number two, hanapin mo yung target client mo. Number three, ano yung desired outcome mo? Again, the formula para maka-craft ka ng mas magandang offer is number two is alamin mo yung service mo na i-offer mo sa kanila. But this is not about just like, okay, I want this service. Okay, I want this service. Sabi nga na yung, it is not about kung ano yung trending, right? It is about ano yung gusto mong gawin. Ano yung mahal mong gawin, right? Kapag mahal natin, ginagawa natin kahit ano. Alam niyo yan. Charot. Bakit ganon?
Sana all.
So,
Sana all.
oo. So, kailangan, yung service na yun is mahal natin. And then, let's target kung sino yung target na client natin. And then number three is ano yung outcome na ibibigay mo sa service na kaya mong i-provide sa kanila sa business na meron sila. So, isang example dito is, Instagram content creation, that's the service that you offer, right? And sinong target mo? Health coaches. Anong goal mo? To grow their brand visibility. Okay? So again, to craft an offer, make sure na you know your service, you know your client type, and yung desired outcome na mangyayari dun sa service na yung offer mo. And tip dito, don't be a generalist and be the go-to. So ako naman dito, siguro medyo ito-twist ko lang ng konti yung don't be a generalist. It's okay to be a generalist at first because you don't know everything. Diba? Sometimes you have to be a generalist first, then tsaka ka mag-niche down, tsaka ka mag-identify kung ano ba talaga yung gusto mo. Okay? Pero hindi ka pwedeng laging nasa generalist ka lang palagi. You have to specialize, right? So you could be valuable. So you can target, you can narrow down yung searches mo ng client. Kasi kung magiging generalist ka lang, you do, different type of thing. Pero hindi ka magiging masyadong valuable sa business because you don't specialize on a specific, role. For example, you just do, email, calendar, basic email, basic calendar, basic social media, and then you just getting paid $5 per hour. What if gawin mo, be an executive assistant, you do email management and calendar management on the higher level, and you're trying to target mga executive, hindi ka na lang generalist, di ba? You are now a specialist. So, yun yung kaimportansya nun. Lahat tayo dumadaan sa pagiging generalist and walang excuse doon. Pero ang ibig sabihin ng don't be a generalist is huwag ka lang palaging maging general VA or maging generalist. Kailangan mo mag-niche down sa tamang panahon. So, I have a question, Yong. How do you make sure your offer is both clear and compelling to your ideal client?
Oh, great question. How do I make sure your offer is both
That
clear
your offer is both clear and compelling to your ideal client? Para sa'yo.
Interesting siya na question, no? But let's be clear. If yung offer mo sounds like a puzzle, wala talagang bibili niyan. 'Di ba? So, yung ginagawa ko, I always go back to this one. Would my ideal client get it in 5 seconds or less? Because if not, sinisimplify ko siya. So, yung ginagawa ko, I really need to make sure that my offer speaks directly to two things. Dalawang bagay lang talaga siya. First thing is, what is the problem that they are dealing with. The second thing is, ano ba talaga yung resulta na gustong-gusto nila. So doon lang talaga siya umiikot yung yung offer ko. So, for example, sabi nga doon sa example, paki-back na ulit sa example, yung sa sa webinar na slide.
Ito ba?
Yung parang sa yung sa example diyan. So, yung nakalagay dito, Instagram content creation or health coaches to grow brand visibility. So, sa akin, for example, take for example na yung gusto mong services is video editing services. So, instead of saying video editing services, I might say that I help businesses or business owners turn long videos into short. So, ganon, scroll stopping content that gets seen. So, ganon siya. Simple lang siya, clear siya, and outcome focus. So, doon pa lang, magigets agad ng mga ng mga business owners. So, I always need to make sure also na yung tone ko is authentic, like me. Walang fancy na mga jargon because usually nakikita ko ang dami-dami mga fancy jargon, ang lalim-lalim na ng English, yung mga ganun, di ba? So, you just need to make sure that it's simple, clear, and outcome focused. So, ang importante kasi niyan is, just mga real words and mga words na nagko-connect. So, and if I'm honest, I test things too. Yun yung ginagawa ko eh. Nagte-test din ako sa mga bagay-bagay. Sometimes, nagpo-post ako ng mga services ko in a different ways to see ano yung may maraming mga responses. So, and the more na kung saan yung mga people nagdanad pag nakikita nila or naririnig nila, so the more that I know that I'm actually like hitting the mark. So, sabi ko nga kanina na clarity always win, di ba? However, clarity wins when you pair it with real connection and a clear benefit. So that that's what makes it compelling. So yun, clarity
Okay.
paired with real connection and clear benefit, yun yung mas maganda.
Okay. Kailangan talaga malinaw yung dating sa client, no, kung ano ang kaya mong gawin at ano yung makukuha nila sa'yo. Kasi nga, they will not pay naman, they will not spend money if wala naman silang masyadong makukuha sa'yo. And you have to make sure na kaya mo yun i-make sure sa kanila na kaya mong i-deliver yun. Kasi maghihirap yung over-promise pero under-deliver, no? And that's something that we have to be aware of pag tayo ay naging VA. Thanks so much. And next is package it to sell. So, depende naman to sa inyo if paano nyo siya ibebenta yung services ninyo. You can do a monthly retainer, you can do project base, you can do a day rate, or you can do like an hourly rate, okay? So, ito yung mga offered ideas sa pwedeng monthly retainer. When say monthly retainer is you're selling your services on a monthly subscription basis. For example, they gotta pay you $1,500 and you do this type of things. Okay? They need to pay you a specific amount. There's no specific time na ano oras ka magtatrabaho as long as nagagawa mo yung trabaho mo. That is monthly retainer. When we say project-based is more of like you'll just work on that particular client for a short period of time for specific payment, okay? So, this disclosure mo na yun sa client or discretion nyo ng dalawa yon if it will gonna be like a monthly retainer fee or you will gonna work for hourly, okay? But the pagkakaiba ni monthly retainer kasi, you're not getting paid by hour. You're getting paid on a monthly basis per specific amount, may gagawin ka or wala. Kunyari, di siya nag-submit ng raw, kunyari, ng files na hinihingi mo sa kanya. Yun yung basis mo para makagawa ka ng output. Kailangan ka pa rin niyang bayaran. Hindi mo kasalanan na siya ay irresponsibleng business owner. That business owner still needs to pay you. Pero of course, you have to do your best as a service provider to nudge them or to follow up with them. Hey, can I follow up with this? Pero may mga pagkakataon talaga na tamad sila. And they need to pay you because that's their commitment, right? They have to pay or commit dun sa monthly retainer na pinangako nila sa'yo. Next naman is yung day rate. So, when you say day rate or hourly rate, ito naman yung may specific amount of money ka or rate na gusto mong bayaran on the hourly rate. Ito yung kadalasan ginagawa ng iba. Kahit ako, I think, hindi. Naka-hourly rate ba ako? Yeah, sa ibang clients na in-outsource ko, so it is hourly. Pero yung sa primary client ko, I'm on a retainer. Pero even though I'm on a retainer fee, I still have to duty or I still have to log in on a specific number of hours because I'm on the operations. Next is, maganda dito is you can name your package with purpose. Like what Yong mentioned earlier, no, we have to be clear. And what we can, the best way that we can do is we can name your package. For example, package gold, ito yung mga makukuha nilang mga services sa'yo. Package silver, ito yung mga services na makukuha nila sa'yo. And package bronze, ito yung makukuha nila sa'yo. So at least doon, meron siyang variation or meron siyang identification if alin yung mas magala, alin yung hindi. Okay? Kasi kapag nakapackage yan, ibig sabihin, okay, it seems like that this guy or this person is really expert on on he's doing. Next is price based on value, not time. So again, this is just like a general reminder. When you decide on your pricing, make sure that you decide on your price value, not on time. Huwag kang magbe-base doon doon sa oras mo, sa oras pag nagpepresyo ka ng bayad sa client. Kasi ito, nararanasan ko to sa mga interns ko na, coach, magkano po kaya yung pwede kong i-ano per hour? Coach, magkano po kaya gaganito ko per hour? Medyo mahirap kasi yon. So narinig ko na gusto nila ng hourly rate. Lagi ko silang tinatanong, lagi ko silang pinapaalalahan at the same time, ano ba yung kaya mong gawin? Ano ba yung result na kaya mong maibigay? Confident ka ba sa bagay na ginagawa mo? Ikaw lang makakapag-decide ng rate na kaya mong sabihin sa client, right? Ikaw yung may kakayahan na ibenta to ng may confidence. Kahit kasi sabihin kasi yung $3 per hour yan, it's unfair, right? Because ikaw mismo sa sarili mo makakapag-assess if unfair yun sa'yo kasi alam mo yung kaya mong gawin. So, ang formula lang dyan is number one, assess the value that you can bring on the company and then put a baseline or put a price and be confident dun sa price na ilalagay mo. Kasi at the end of the day, alam mo naman kung OA yung pricing mo eh. Kunyari, you do data entry and then you will price it $100 per hour. It's not realistic. Kailangan, you have to be realistic at the same time. You have to consider the standing of the business. You have a lot of things to consider, no? And if you think na kina-counter ka ng client, meet halfway, right? And if you think na ayaw mo talaga nung ganun, edi hanap ka ng ibang client. Hindi naman palaging yung first offer or hindi naman palaging kailangan tinatanggap yung offer eh. You can turn down the offer if something na hindi siya aligned sa'yo. Next is positioning your message. Okay. Stop saying, ibig sabihin, hindi, Yong, bago ako magpunta dito, ikaw, paano mo binibenta yung service mo sa clients?
Masyak po tayo bigla na paano mo binibenta yung sarili mo, no?
Oo,
so,
no?
So, based dun sa sa slide, I totally believe na, I mean like, I don't believe na one size fits all package. Yun talaga yung yung hindi ako naniniwala. So, based on that one, I totally usually offer yung 4 na options na nakikita natin, yung monthly retainer, project-based, because I offer those 4 depending on the client's needs. Like, because kung gusto lang natin magpakatotoo talaga, every client's goal and workflow is talaga siya, iba-iba, di ba? So, if a client needs like mga consistent, mga long-term support, like mga video editing, mga repurposing ng mga contents, mga social media na mga tasks, yung usually they go for like mga monthly retainer. Because pag ganun kasi, it totally gives them like peace of mind, like a structure, or meron ng structure, and mga results na hindi na siya need na, magsabi ka pa ng rehire me every week. para lang sa mga ganito. And yung mga iba, yung mga project-based lang, yung mga nagla-launch ng mga brand video, yung kailangan mo mag-edit ng mga full context ng mga batch or setting up systems, mga ganon, I totally offer like mga project-based na packages. Kasi if yung sa mga project-based kasi, they have like mga nakakaset ka ng mga deliverables, meron siyang timeline, and of course, since project-based siya, flat rate na din siya. So, which makes yung mga bagay na malinis at predictable na siya kung ano yung mangyayari. Sa mga day rate na offer ko, those are for those clients na gusto nila akong makuha, like, just focus for a day to batch yung mga reels lang, yung mga mag-edit lang ng saglit na content, or like mga deep creative work in a short amount of time. Kasi yung mga ganon, yung mga day rate ko, yun lang yung mga ideal for mga fast moving na mga goals talaga, or mga last minute na talaga na mga nila-launch nila ng mga brands. So, lastly is sa hourly rate. Um, Ito yung usually sa mga new clients ko or like mga small tasks kung saan like yung parang needed lang nila yung mga saglit na support ko or want to test the waters, yung mga ganon, before like going bigger. Kaya doon nangyayari yung yung monthly na retainer na eh. Because I need to make sure that I test the waters doing the hourly rate. So, sa hourly rate ko, it's totally like flexible. It is na low risk lang siya. And this is actually like good for those mga quick jobs or mga admin na mga style na mga work. So, by yung apat na yon na structure ko siya to have myself like parang flexible siya while still being clear and professional. So, and I always make sure that the offer fits the client goal kasi yun yung importante, not the other way around. Kasi at the end of the day, it's not just about what I offer. It's about how that offer helps the business owners or your clients na mananalo sila.
Love it, love it. Next is also, um, maganda to i-connect sa sinabi ni Yong is positioning your message. So, alam mo na yung service na ibebenta mo, alam mo na yung target na client mo, alam mo na kung ano yung magiging outcome magiging outcome ng pinagagawa mo ngayon. You just have to make sure that aware tayo sa mga bagay na to. Let's stop saying, I do admin work. I do data entry. I do ganto. I do ganyan. It's very vague, right? It doesn't give like an impact to the client. Ano daw talaga yung ano bang specialization mo? Ano ba yung kaya mong gawin, no? Instead of saying I do admin work, you could have say I help real estate agents free up to 10 hours per week by managing their listings and inbox. Anong mas maganda? Yung una, yung pangalawa. Yung pangalawa, kasi yung pangalawa, you bring data, you bring clarity, no? And you communicate effectively ano yung kaya mong gawin. And let's start doing this one. Stop saying, I think I fit on the role because I do admin work. Ano yun? Para namang walang kakwenta-kwentang sinabi mo yung bagay na kaya mong gawin. Instead of saying those one, be specific. Yeah, I help real estate agents to free up their time by managing their listings and their inbox so they can claim their 10 hours per week uh, time that and they can use that to spend their time with their family, something like that. So make sure na very very specific yung ginagawa mo and very detailed then at the same time na magigets ni client ano yung kaya mong gawin. Kasi when you say do admin work, and so everyone can do admin work. So what's the value proposition that I can get from you? Okay? And also always focus on outcomes, not on tasks. So when you're trying to position your message or to say something about your things that you can do, focus on outcomes, okay? Ano yung kaya mong ibigay, hindi dun sa task na kaya mong gawin, right? Because everybody can do that task, but not anyone can give result. Always remember that. Not everyone can give result. Next, where to start? So, AJ, ang dami yung sinasabi mga leche kayo. Saan kami mag-start? Number one, pick a one skill you love plus one problem that you can solve. So, katulad ng sinabi ni Yong kanina, hinahanap siya ng problem na kaya niyang isolve. This is exactly what it is, right? Pick one skill you love. Sabi rin namin kanina, you do things that you love. So, again, bago mo malaman yung skill na yon, bago malaman yung service yun, kailangan meron kang assessment sa sarili mo. Ano yung serbisyo, ano yung mga bagay na paborito kong gawin, or mahal kong gawin, plus maghanap ka ng problem na gusto mong i-resolve. Number 2, create a simple service sheet. Service sheet is equivalent to just like a slide deck or presentation that you can offer. Next is test your offer in Facebook groups or freelancing platforms. So, after kung may offer ka na kumbaga na ilista mo na siya on a bullet format or regardless kung anong format gusto mo, i-test mo yung offer mo sa mga Facebook groups or freelancing platforms. When I say freelancing platforms, could be OLJ, Upwork, and the like. Okay? Marami yan. Yun lang yung mga naririnig natin. And then kapag yung offer na yon ay sa tingin mo nakakakuha ng traction, nakakuha ka ng feedback, di ba? You could, and sa tingin mo para, for example, nakakuha ka ng feedback pero walang masyadong interesado. So I think you have to refine and repeat the process. Okay? When we say refine, may kailangan ka pang trabahuhin ng konti, no? And then repeat. Okay? Upload mo ulit, wait for feedback, and then if you can get client, and then you're good to go. It's just like it's a matter of testing, no? If what is effective and what is not. Because you're not an expert for you to figure out ano yung working, ano yung hindi, no? You have to test. You have to put
Test
your
the
boots.
waters.
Yes, you have to put your boots on the ground so you can test or you can feel and you can see what is really effective and what is not. Next. So yung bago ako pumunta dito, what advice would you give to someone who's overwhelmed with choosing the first offer na gagawin nila? Ano ba yung offer na gagawin ko? Ano yung advice mo doon sa mga yan?
Ang ganda ng tanong na yan. I love that question. Kasi ang dami ngayon na-overwhelm especially yung mga aspiring na mga virtual assistant, no? That's actually like a great question. Honestly, if I will be able to answer that question, I'll just have to sasagot ako sa na-experience ko din. And that's actually like, wag mong i-overthink. Wag kang mag-overthink. Yun talaga, kung honest lang talaga.
Yes.
Because,
ayun din yung sasabihin ko dapat bago ka magsalita. Pero sabi ko, feeling ko paras kami ng thoughts nito.
yun nga. For me lang wag mo masyadong i-overthink. Yung first na offer mo doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be something. Yun lang talaga Start with what you're already good at or ano yung what comes naturally to you. And that's actually exactly what I did. I didn't, hindi ko na-figure lahat when I started it. Nag-lean lang ako sa strengths ko, yung creativity, storytelling, and content. And in-offer ko kung ano yung kaya kong mabigay sa mga clients. Wag mong stress yung sarili mo, like too much stress on yourself about like perfect na mga niche or services. You just need to focus on solving a real problem. Then when I say like when you focus on solving a real problem, you have to ask three things for yourself. Yung tinatanong ko palagi sa sarili ko is first, what do people already ask me for help with? Ano ba yung mga bagay na hinihingi na ng tulong ng mga tao sa akin? Next, ano ba yung kaya kong gawin na nahihirapan yung iba na gawin? Yung third na tanong na ginawa ko para sa sarili ko is, ano ba talaga yung mga bagay na ini-enjoy kong gawin? So, dyan pa lang sa tatlong dyan, you need to test these three questions. And then try it with one client and see how it feels. And then you can just adjust as you go. Ganun lang siya Again, paulit-ulit ko talaga sinasabi na clarity is yun talaga yung nag-win talaga. And I will tell you, since sinabi ko na kanina na clarity and connection, yung pinaka-truth talaga is clarity comes from doing. not from over planning. Okay? Yung first offer mo is just a starting point. Hindi siya yung final destination mo. So, huminga ka ng malalim, choose the one thing that really, you know, something that you really love, and start it. And you'll learn way more from taking action than from waiting until everything makes sense. And, done, yung tapos na is always better than perfect. Ganun lang siya.
Yeah. Thank you for that, Young, and so much, information that we got from you. So, also, we're almost done, and this is the final thought, diba? Number one is you don't need a new degree. You don't have to get, a new degree just to start freelancing industry. Hindi nyo kailangan ng degree dito kasi number one thing that you have to remember, clients are not looking on your diploma or with your degree program. They always look on the services that you can offer. Period. Uulitin ko, hindi sila, kahit ikaw ay hindi elementary graduate, pero kung ikaw ay aware sa services na binibenta mo, regardless of your educational attainment, they will not look on your educational attainment. They will always look on the services and the skills that you can offer. Number two is you don't need to be everywhere, right? Do not overcomplicate things. That's one thing that I learned from my life and doing freelancing industry. Kasi nga, yung mga buhay ng kliyente natin ay magulo na. Ayaw nating mas maging magulo pa tayo kaysa sa kanila. Diba? Sabi nga, huwag ka mag-overthink, okay? Just believe in what you're doing. Okay? Just trust the process na it will come to life, right? Kasi sa una naman talaga wala talagang resulta yan eh. But if you're gonna trust and work on it, I believe doon yan magkakaroon ng resulta. And number three is you just need a clear and confident offer. Yun lang yun eh. Kahit anong galing mo sa editing, kahit anong skills meron ka, if you're not clear on what you're going to do, and you don't have the confidence, I think that's your that's your weakness, okay? So maging confident ka kung anong meron ka. Kasi how will you get the job na ina-applyan mo if sa application pa lang ay wala ka ng kumpiyansa sa sarili mo? Learn that, okay? Confidence matters, okay? Confidence matters. And at the same time, ito yung ano mo eh, yun yung magiging, yun yung magpo-push sa'yo in order for you to unleash the things na hindi mo pa nakikita sa sarili mo. Yung confidence na meron ka. At yung confidence po, yan po ay hindi nabibili. Uulitin ko, hindi nabibili yan. Ikaw mismo ang maghuhulma sa sarili mo. Ikaw mismo ang huhugot kung saan mo hugutin yung confidence na yan. And confidence starts on how you think. Okay? That's why it's really important to have a mindset shift. So before we end our conversation, Yong, I have one last question. Ang dami kong tanong sa'yo, no? So siguro ang one last question ko sa'yo is, this is very gold. Sabi dito, what one belief you had to unlearn in order to grow on your business? Ikaw mismo, anong belief yung in-unlearn mo para for you to grow?
Okay, so hindi pa ako nagsa-start as a VA. Ito talaga yung belief ko, or like parang something that I had to unlearn in order to grow the business that I had. And I want this one na ma-learn din, especially dun sa mga gustong matutong maging freelancer or maging virtual assistant. Ayan. Yung one major belief that I had to let go of was thinking that I needed to enroll in paid courses or have official certifications before I could start. Yun
Mm-mm.
talaga siya. Truth is, I didn't take any course. I didn't get certified. I just lean into what was I'm already good at. And I want everyone na nandito ngayon to focus on that strength. Lean on that strength. Because when there were things I didn't know yet, I learned them from myself. Kasi ang dami-daming mga free resources out there. You know, you've got YouTube University, You've got ang dami ngayon, mga sites, mga free trainings, mga blogs, especially right now. And thank you so much, AJ, for having this, webinar.
Of
Also,
course.
which also give like, an idea to those people na malaman nila na it really doesn't, though if you really need like guidance on your end, that's something that, you can choose to. However, you can learn everything by yourself, like if you're just a researcher type person. And given the idea like this webinar, merong ganito na mga webinar like ginagawa namin, especially si AJ, this is actually like a good start to know na not all the things you just need to be certified. So, there's a lot of communities, even like TikTok, ang daming mga free tips doon. You can just type in like anong gusto mong niche, lalabas doon yung mga tips na binibigay ng mga may experience na sa ganitong world. So, instead of waiting to feel qualified, you just need to focus on taking action. Offer services that you knew that you could deliver on, and research what you needed to improve along the way. So, sabi nga doon, you don't need to be everywhere. You don't need to overcomplicate things. You just need two things. Clarity, kung ano yung i-offer mo, and confidence, gaya nga doon sa slide na yun, and confidence na may figure out mo yung dapat na ma-figure out mo. Because if we want to be honest, dito sa VA world, no one asks for any diploma. I totally believe that hindi talaga sila nag-ask ng mga diploma. They just
True.
wanted someone who could get the job done.
Done. Correct.
Yun. So yun yung
Love
yun
it.
yung idea na pwede kong ibigay sa lahat.
Oo, oo. And siguro yung mga limiting beliefs, no? Kasi that limiting beliefs will also hinder us to do amazing things. Ako siguro, just to end this yung final thoughts is ako before, ang kailangan kong i-unlearn is yung I have imposter syndrome, and I think everybody could relate to that. Na parang imposter syndrome is a feeling of yourself na parang lahat ng achievements mo, nakuha mo lang yun kasi tsamba. Kasi baka sinuwerte ka lang. Paniniwala na nakuha mo lang yun dahil hindi mo siya pinaghirapan. And that's, or sometimes kapag may gagawin ako, ay hindi ko kaya yan, feeling ko, ganon. So, imposter syndrome is really, really one of the things that I removed or I have to unlearn over the past years that I'm working as a service provider. And I could say na sobrang laking tulong niya kasi doon ko na-realize na kapag tinatanggal mo na sa imposter syndrome, kapag nagkakaroon ka na ng realization sa sarili mo, and a confirmation na marunong ka at magaling ka talaga, something will gonna happen. It's a birth. It's a rebirth, right? So, little did I know naman na, na makakagawa ko ng community, at the same time, makakapag-share ako ng resources that, currently, nakapag-launch ako ng isang VA agency. And who would have thought na magagawa ko yon, di ba? And of course, by the credit of those partners na kasama ko, we were able to do that. So, kayo, yun naman yung goal natin, di ba? Lahat ng nandito nanonood at sino man makakapanood ng live na to or ng recording na to. The goal is for you to do the things that you love and at the same time, earn a specific amount that you deserve, right? Ako kasi wala na tayo dun sa part na gusto kong humasel, gusto kong kumita ng $500,000 pero di ka naman masaya. Diba? That's something that you have to think about, right?
Yes.
So, in a nutshell, the bottom line is, even though if you are in a corporate world, if you think that you cannot shift from corporate world to VA industry or the freelancing industry, I want to tell you, yes, you can. Okay, you just have to strategize. You just have to sit down and think. And also, if you want to get the formula that sinabi namin kanina, you can just watch this recording, right? And Yong, I want to also thank you for having me on this. For of course for accepting the invite for me to have you in this conversation. It was really an honor and a pleasure for you to have in this call and have your insights, your best practices to share it to the community, right? If there's only few people that is watching from us, I have my community. If they are 5,000 there, I'm gonna put this recording, and I think they will
Yeah.
be able to watch this. And we also some audience from TikTok that is watching from us. So it's a combination of different audiences. So what we're going to do is you need to follow Young. Young, can you drop your Facebook page if you want, or any platforms that you want to promote, or you promote anything on this call?
Ayun nga. Wait nga, hindi ko na alam. Wait, anyways, you can follow me on TikTok. That's Koreanong Hilaw VA, and that's the same po as sa Facebook page ko. That's Koreanong Hilaw VA. AJ, I'll just need to parang hindi pa ako na-satisfy sa belief. Gusto ko lang mag-add ng one thing para at least
Go, 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 go. Take your time.
sorry guys kung it takes time, but I want to gusto ko lang masabi ito sa sa mga tao na um one thing na kailangan yung i-believe na dapat yung i-unlearn is you have to do everything to succeed. Yan yung gusto kong sa lahat, ha? Na dapat yung i-unlearn na yung isang bagay na you have to do everything to succeed. I-unlearn nyo yan siya, guys. Because coming from a corporate background, especially as a restaurant manager, I was used to juggling a million things, wearing every hat, and thinking burnout was just part of the job. So when I started my freelance journey, I brought the same mindset na ganito din yung gagawin ko. And I thought that the more I did, the more legit I look. So in time, I learned that doing everything doesn't mean you're doing it well. I was overworked, scattered, and palagi akong nag-yes sa mga bagay na hindi naman nag-align kung ano talaga yung gusto kong gawin. Or what I actually wanted to offer. So, kailangan yung i-unlearn that hustle equals success. Yung mga ganyan na mentality. All you just need to focus is alignment over chaos. Yun yung in-niche down nyo. Alignment versus chaos. You need to lean into those creative strengths. You have to create the system that you already have. And you have to say no kindly but firmly. And the moment that you will be able to give yourself permission to focus, simplify, and protect your energy, that's when things really started to grow. So, not just your business, but also your confidence. So again, unlearn the hustle equals success, but focus on alignment over chaos. Ganun lang siya.
Love it, love it. Di mo kailangan magpakamatay, no, para
Yeah.
to get something what you want, right? You just have to become like smart work lang, 'di ba? If you can, make your times, if you can make your life really easy, then do it, right? So, if that's the case, thank you so much, Young. You can follow me on Facebook, and if you want to join my community, people, you can access my free online course on my community, and this recording will be also uploaded there maybe tomorrow or anytime soon. So marami po akong recording sa aking community. It's a free online community where you can, browse for different types of training. Sobrang dami na doon. That's why hindi na kayo wala na kayong rason para sabihin ninyong hindi kayo pwede maging VA kasi sobrang daming free resources doon. So you can scan the QR code and you can follow us on Facebook, Koreanong Hilaw. Tama ba? Koreanong Hilaw VA. So you can search him on Facebook and he's also on TikTok. Ako naman, the VA teacher, both Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. So also, bakit nyo kailangan i-follow si Young? Young will get, I think, an amount of 3 paid online course na ino-offer ko. So I'll send him the link right after this call and siya na bahalang mag-distribute ng access na yon. So Young, you can share that link to anyone na feeling mo, ikaw na bahala kung gusto mo magpalaro, gusto mo magparapot, it's up to you. Pero you have the freedom to distribute one to your community so you can give value. Okay, if that's the case, meron ba kayong mga tanong? Give us 2 to 3 minutes for question. Kung wala na, we're gonna end this live and we will enjoy the rest of our week. Okay? We're going once. Any questions? mukhang parang wala naman silang tanong. Well, Yong, I'll send the access as soon as we end the live. And first of all, thank you so much again and again and again and again. I owe you on this one. And if you need me, Yong, okay, just message me on Facebook. We're on Messenger naman. And sana guys, i-value natin kung yung mga ganito kasi wala nang bibigay ng libreng ganito. Ito ay hindi mababayaran ng kahit ano. Maraming salamat, Yong. Enjoy the rest of the day and
Thank
stay
you.
amazing.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Welcome, welcome. Bye bye, everyone.